there is no such thing as like, you know, just a generic ex-pro cyclist. You've got some that stay super competitive and super fit, and then you've got others that totally let themselves go. Now, clearly, he's not the guy that's let himself go. So I imagine he probably does enough to keep himself reasonably fit. The trouble with this race, I think, is that because it's so long and so sustained, that actually you can be, you know, you can really fit. Maybe you could do like an hour's crit or a cross race or something, but then it's actually being able to do, you know, a 4-hour effort, you know, with 3 hours hard tempo with the last hour at threshold. And that's something that, you know, when you stop racing full time, I think you lose that.
Starting out pretty windy, as far as I know, no crashes in the neutral section. That was the main concern for the wind. And then as you climb up, it's very humid. You're always wet, and it's actually ideally you want to try and stay as dry as that. Lightest possible jersey you have. Keep your jersey open as long as you can, because it makes you, otherwise when you get in the shadows you get very cold, and then yeah, it gets cool towards the top. But mostly. The weather was fine. It's the gradient, the climbing, the feeding, and then of course by the end the fatigue and the altitude, which is really what to me really I found the biggest challenges to face.
My name is Jon Breivoll. I'm from Norway. I really enjoy climbing. Yeah, I've always wanted to do these races. Like a dream come true, so really nice race. In this beginning it was quite easy pace, and the kilometers were going quite fast, and suddenly you were halfway through, but then the really challenging part began. And yeah, I got in the group with Cadel Evans, and but the cooperation was not really good, so after about 60 kilometers there was a downhill section. And then I went quite fast, got the gap, and went alone.
Of course, you have the length of the climb. The road is treacherous in the sense that if you went off the road or something, it'd be all over. I don't know when the fall would end. It's really you're really riding up on the side of these precipices, which is just quite incredible. To race on the tunnels are a little bit, yeah, you have to pay attention. But when I look around and look at the mountains, it's just like a scene out of a movie or something. It's so spectacular, so steep, but some of the scenery, the old temples, the waterfalls, I love the section with all the trees going over the road. It makes like this kind of awning over the road of a natural awning of trees. That was spectacular. And then the vegetation itself is I'd only seen it in Asian movies. I was surprised how many people blew in the last 10k, because I think we had a few people in our group, and then we were just like in ones. I was really riding really conservatively, taking a wide line on the lesser gradients around the switchbacks, and just trying to ride really within myself to save myself for that last k, knowing there was that little downhill and then the last k, because of course if you've got a little bit left going into that last k, you can make a really big difference in a group of 3 or 4.
I've been in this race or event for 8 years. For 8 years, I feel I'm not there to ride this route, because the more I drive, the more I know how difficult it is. Maybe this is not the highest, the longest, maybe it's not the steepest, but mentally, it's really, really, really difficult. So I'm very respect all riders who can finish this route in 6.5 hours.
Today I was not midfield, but near the front, but not knowing where, and just trying to conserve myself and not be beaten by the guy who sat on me for the last 10k. I have no idea how many things I've signed, and the people are very appreciative of the fact that we came out here and we came and participated in the race. And of course it's new people to meet, and for me just to come to a new culture, a place I've never raced before, is a new experience.